Alright, we are getting prepared for a pretty widespread storm in the southeast. It is going to produce a lot of rain, maybe cause some light flooding. We also have a train of atmospheric rivers on the west coast, and maybe some return to some cold soon, but before that, a record-breaking heat wave. So let's get right into it. Alright, first we are starting off with this system over here in the Four Corners states. This is going to be the system that is going to traverse across as we head into the 14th, 15th. Like everyone else is saying, a Valentine's Day storm, basically, is going to produce lots of the rain here in the south. And after that, we're going to have a huge heat wave. I mean, there's not much really snow to talk about with this, even though it is February. There is maybe a slight chance over here in Maryland and West Virginia. Alright, here it is. Here's what's causing it. We have our system here, and it is going to move across into Texas by the time we head into late tomorrow, and this is going to be able to produce some light severe weather from Texas all the way to the East Coast. Our main day is going to stretch right in here. We'll look at that at the end of the video, but it is going to, again, have a little disturbance here. It's not really a very significant storm, except maybe for the flooding and slight severe weather impact. But after this, we're going to have that ridge setup, which is going to produce all of that heat from our heat wave. Here is what that system could look like over the next little bit. We have snow being produced over here in the Northern Rockies and rain down here in Arizona. This is more like your rainy season, so not unheard of here. And we're going to start to see some storms break out in Oklahoma and Kansas as we head into late tonight into early tomorrow. And that is going to expand into Kansas and Texas and eventually further to the east. This area right here is going to be our main area, as we could have some discrete storms produce some hail, maybe some wind, and maybe a tornado or two. We'll look at that again at the end of the video. But as we head into our day 2 here, our center of low pressure is located over here in West Arkansas, literally by Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Texas, that area right over there, Texarkana area. It is not a very powerful low pressure system, but as you can see, it will produce a lot of severe weather down here in the south. This is the normal spot for the severe weather to happen, though, so I'm not completely surprised here. And eventually, this line of storms is going to break down slightly. Maybe we'll have some storms associated with the center of low pressure, which could be very interesting. But as you can see here, this model does not actually show any snow over here in the northeast. Maybe you can see some light snow over in the upper elevations, but the GFS seems to say something completely different. Here's our system coming across, and look at this. West Virginia, we're seeing some stuff, and a little area of some snow over here in the northeast. Most likely just Pennsylvania, Maryland, and New Jersey. I think New York City would be out of this, pretty much. It does show a slight touch of snow to Long Island, but again, this is not guaranteed. It would have to combine a lot with this cooler air that is in the northeast, which is not a lot. But another system that we will have is a tiny little clipper system moving into New York that could help push this thing out to sea. And in general, we're going to be quiet in most of the U.S., but you guys on the West Coast, you're going to have to deal with a massive atmospheric river, especially over here in California, all the way down, literally the whole West Coast. And this is going to produce all sorts of snow over here and create tons more snowpack. This is the European model, and what it is showing is also some snow over here. A big difference is it does show maybe a little bit of snow over here in Long Island and New York City. But very, very brief and not very much at all. It is, again, mostly going to be a severe weather threat and a heavy rainmaker. And then we're going to deal with this heat wave with nothing much going on except on the west coast. But the main dilemma here with our temperatures is going to be our very, very big heat wave that is going to be bubbling up, especially peaking around Monday, Tuesday, and through Thursday there. And this is going to finally make its way to the northeast by the end of next week, before some cool air might be able to make its way in. And again, I think there's going to be plenty of temperature flips here. And in fact, the Euro does show a massive Arctic blast, but again, it changes. Let me just show you the last one that went out this far. Yeah, it does kind of show the same thing with the massive Arctic air over here and massive heat. But again, if you look at the one previous to that, boom, completely different. It will change so much. And what could these temperatures look like? We are looking at potentially 80s in South Texas. Are you ready for summer-like temperatures in South Texas? I guess not summer-like for you guys. You're mostly 90s in the summer. But for a lot of us, that would be summer-like temperatures. And still, a lot of us will feel a huge amount of spring-like weather as we have a huge heat wave bubbling up into southern South Dakota, which could bring that 60s way up there, and our 50s even farther, and are above freezing way up into Canada. In fact, just this model itself is showing the above freezing line to be way up here. And again, more widespread 70s over here in Texas, and even more widespread 80s, all the way up into northern Oklahoma. Tuesday could just be insane. It's literally going to feel like summer down here. In fact, this model, oh my goodness, we're hitting 93 in South Texas. This is the temperatures you get in, oh my word, yeah, it is a little farther out, but that just displays what kind of a pattern we're in. And again, the heavy rain threat is going to focus more east Oklahoma, northeast Texas. Arkansas is going to be the main area for that as well, and some areas in Tennessee. In our severe weather days, we have a wind and hail outlook for today in Texas and Oklahoma. And for tomorrow, we have a slight risk, and that is actually driven by a 5% risk for tornadoes. So we're going to have to watch very closely here in East Texas and southern Louisiana, because this could be enough to be pronounced as maybe a small tornado outbreak here. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you sometime soon.